Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode in our Rise of the Moors series. So we're at the end of November now, in our first campaign in League Football. We're sitting on top of League 2, only by a couple of points, and that's over Southend, and then there's a few teams just behind them who are also picking up a lot of victories at the moment as well. So it's been a decent month since the last episode. So we've had a couple of really tough fixtures, but as you can see there, we've had progression in both the FA Cup and the Johnston's Paint Trophy. So let's have a look at the highlights of those games now, and then we'll crack on with the episode. So on the back of the comeback victory over Northampton that we showed in the last episode, we had a very tricky away trip to Luton. Now Luton are one of the strongest teams in the division, and actually this was a very tough fixture for us. We were unlucky not to win it in the end, and I think a draw was a pretty fair result. Whilst Luton dominated us on shots, we just edged them on possession, and we did try and exert a little bit of control over the game. It was Purrington with the goal, and that actually got him player of the match in this fixture, but unfortunately we couldn't keep Luton at bay, and they came back with the equaliser in the 84th minute. So we were unfortunate to lose a goal in such a manner at the end of the game, but I think a draw away against a really tough opposition was probably a decent result for us. And then we drew Ebbsfleet in the first round of the FA Cup, and because we're playing a weaker opposition, I made a few changes and brought in a few of the backup players to play in this fixture. So people like Jake Kenyon and Georgian Teamer started the game, and we played our youngster Bradley Lewis from the start in defence as well. It was a comfortable win. We didn't play at 100%, and like I said, we did rest a few of the players. We were pretty unconvincing here, to be honest, but we just did enough to secure the victory that we needed. And it was Georgian Tima getting one of the goals, and that got him man of the match as well. And then we had a very accomplished performance at home to AFC Wimbledon. So this time it was the Johnson's Paint Trophy quarter-final in the South region. We've played them in the league before and already picked up a victory over them. And this was a fantastic performance against them. We were so clinical and we executed victory particularly well here. Rowan Liebert, Matthew Willock getting goals, and then Carl McFarlane picking up a penalty off the bench. That gave us the 3-0 win. Matthew Willock with a fantastic midfield performance with a 9 rating, and that got him player of the match. And then we had a very tough encounter against Dagenham and Redbridge. This time at home, we started off really brightly, Matthew Willock getting the goal in the 5th minute from a decent free kick. But Dagenham and Redbridge were really tough to break down. 8 shots on target for us, but we couldn't convert any more. And again, it was a game that we couldn't see out the victory, with Dagenham and Redbridge getting the equaliser in the 68th minute, and it finished 1-1. So disappointing not to get a victory here, but they were a very tough opposition to play against here actually. And I felt like we had a bit of stumbling form going into the away trip at York as well. So obviously we haven't been playing as well away from home, and I felt like we had a bit more of that away at York, who are actually a more of a lower league or a lower table opposition. It was another close game. We weren't brilliantly defensively throughout the 90 minutes, and we allowed another late goal here, but we were already 2-0 up by the time York got one back. Geraldo Martin and Liebert putting us 2-0 up after 51 minutes, and it was Georgian Tima with player of the match in this fixture again. So our away form is still a bit of a concern, and we've laboured to victory over more mid-table opposition, and we've had to really grind out results in tightly contested affairs recently. But progression in the Cups is promising, and because of the victory over AFC Wimbledon in the JPT, we were in the draw for the semi-final. We've actually drawn Luton in the semi-final of the Southern region for the JPT, and that's a pretty good draw again actually, because we've avoided League One opposition. So it's going to be a really tough place to go away at Luton, but it is probably the more favourable team that we can play left in the draw, and so we're going to have to see what we can do there. And we've also had another favourable draw in the FA Cup second round, so this time we're going to be playing at home to Forest Green, who obviously we haven't played since last season, and I'm very looking forward to playing Forest Green again. And as you can see on that screen, the other concern we've got again is our income. So we're just leaking cash again. We always seem to be doing this as a club. We're not making any profit at the moment. I'm a few £100 over our wage budget, but that's only going to be for the next few weeks until we shift off players in the new transfer window, in the January transfer window. But I think we're going to have to get progression in the Cups again and hope for a plum home tie in order to get some gate revenue and hopefully some TV revenue. And talking about home ties, we've finally moved back into Damson Park after its renovation, so we've now got a 3,500 capacity, of which 800 is seated, so it's good to be back to playing at Damson Park. But we picked up an injury to Ben Glasgow in the recent fixtures, so he's out with a pulled hamstring, 5 or 6 weeks out unfortunately, but that's left us a little bit short in defence, so Tyler Reid and Ben Purrington are going to be playing a lot of football in the next month for us. And just looking at the player stats then, so this is overall, so both domestic cups and league combined. So as you can see there, Geraldo Martin, Carl McFarlane and Rowan Liebert all above 10 goals now, but a decent contribution from the midfielders as well. Billy Waters, Cooper, Matthew Willock all getting a few goals for themselves as well, which is really good to see. On the assist front, Ben Glasgow, he's starting to lead the way again, but as we said before, all of our assists seem to be coming down that right wing. So Ben Glasgow with 10 and Billy Waters with 7 assists now. Player of the match seems to be a bit more spread this season, so Geraldo Martin getting 4 and then a whole cluster of players getting 2 apiece. And our pass completion rate seems to have improved in the last few weeks, and that's reflected in the player statistics as well. So Sam Bone, Cooper, Henry Jones and Geraldo Martin all above 80% now, and that's really encouraging. And as far as the combined average rating goes, Ben Glasgow with a 7.81, but it's Geraldo Martin who is actually our leading average rating for the league alone. And interestingly, similar to last year, the key passes seem to all be coming from Ben Glasgow at the moment, but a decent contribution as well from players like Matthew Willock, Liebert and Billy Waters. And just looking at the value of some of the players as well, Henry Jones and Geraldo Martin both over 200k. Billy Waters not too far behind, about 180k for him at the moment. And our stuttering away form is going to be tested today. So we're away at Barnet, who are a very strong team. They're sitting in 8th position at the moment, so pushing for a playoff spot. And as you can see, all of our rivals are playing weaker opposition today, so we can't really afford to slip up against teams like Barnet if we're going to have a successful season and challenge for the title, or at least automatic promotion spots. So Barnet in decent form. They won away at Dagenham and Redbridge last time out, and that was a team that we struggled against, to be honest, so this is going to be a very tough opposition for us today, and a very good challenge. And this is the team we're going to be setting out with. Coleman in goal, Tyler Reid deputising for the injured Ben Glasgow at right back. He's playing alongside Darnell Johnson, Dion Conroy at centre back, Ben Purrington at left back, Sam Bones playing the defensive midfield role today. He'll just be sitting in front of them. Willock and Jones in the centre of the park, Geraldo on the left wing as the inside forward, Billy Waters on the right as winger support, and Carl McFarlane up top. So they're backing Barnet as favourites today, and realistically that's because of their home advantage and our stuttering away form. So it's going to be a really tight affair, I think. They're setting up 4-4-2, a formation that we do struggle against, to be honest, and they've got a very good set of players in that team, so we need to be cautious. And because of that, we're closing down all their midfielders, sticking tight to their strikers and closing down their right back as well. Bit of faith into the team today. I do think we can get a good result out of this game, but we need to play well to do so. So the Moors to start, away at the Hive, away at Barnet. It's going to be a tight game, I think. Here's Henry Jones on the ball, and that's the end of initial highlights. So lots of possession in the first 5 minutes for the Moors, but no real chances created. And actually, Barnet has had the only shot on goal so far. And here's Barnet now, ball forward, but Johnson with a decent interception. Geraldo Martin plays McFarlane in. Oh, he's clattered against the post. He should have scored that. That was a good opportunity for us to take there. About half an hour now, it's pretty even between the teams. Decent pass completion rate by both teams as well. But here's Sam Bone. Henry Jones plays it to Willock, spreads it wide to Purrington. He finds Geraldo. Back to Purrington now, the chance to cross, but he finds Henry Jones in a bit of support. Into McFarlane, spreads it wide to Reid. The ball comes in, Willock at the back post, 1-0 to the Moors. A decent delivery from Tyler Reid on the right there. Deputising for Ben Glasgow today. First time cross, Willock had advanced. And I don't know whether that came off his chest, but it didn't look like a bullet header. So it might be 1-0 going into half-time. A little bit of faith and encouragement at half-time. A pretty quiet opening half. We had a couple of other chances that we didn't take. So we're 1-0 up at half-time. No real threat from Barnet that we saw in the highlights, but it's pretty even on the statistics between both of the teams. I'm going to stay on the counter for the time being, and it's Barnet to start the second half here. I'm just going to give the team a bit of encouragement. 55 minutes on the clock, still very even between both teams. I think this tie is balanced at the moment. I'm going to make a change. It looks like Henry Jones has picked up a knock as well, so Charlie Cooper is going to be coming on for him. Rowan Liebert's coming on for Carl McFarlane. It's had a pretty quiet game, actually. A decent performance from a few of our midfielders today, though, but Billy Waters is also having a quiet one, so we may introduce Georgian Tima in due course. Another team talk from the sideline. Again, more encouragement to the team. This tie is finally balanced at the moment. Throw into Barnet. Hoyt throws it forward. Willock cuts it out. Sam Bone now into Cooper with a bit of space. Can he find anybody? Rowan Liebert. He's beating the one man. There's a good tackle in on him though. Geraldo Martin. Yes, 2-0 to the Moors. Smashes it in off the bar. The tackle came into Rowan Liebert and it was Billy Waters with a delicate cross to the back post. That was a lovely ball. Martin advanced, smashes it into the back of the net, and I think that should be the tie to us. I'm going to make our last change. I was going to bring Georgian Tima on, but actually I'm going to bring Scott Tancock on. Just for a bit of fresh legs in defence really. I'm going defensive at this stage as well. 10 minutes to go, we're 2-0 up away at Barnet, and this is a very good result for us. Because it looks like it's going to be the status quo in the sort of the top few positions in the league. I think Southend must be winning as well. Okay with the long ball forward, but that's going to be easily collected by Coleman. Have we got one more highlight, one more chance in us? There's a long ball forward to Martin, who lets that one bounce. Cooper now. Willock. Bit of keep ball, hopefully. Into Rowan Liebert. What a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace that effort was. That was poor from Rowan Liebert, especially in the form that he's been in. A good towering header from Tancock. He finds Geraldo Martin again. Hurrington now. Ball smashed forward down the left wing. It's cut out by Hoyt. And it's gone for a corner kick actually in the last effort of the game. Geraldo to take it. He plays it short, and Sambo knocks it out for a throw in, and that should be the game. This should be it. Waiting for the final whistle now. Scott Tancock on the ball, and there you go. 2-0 to the Moors away at Barnet. And hopefully that is our stuttering away form put to bed. What a good result away against a decent Barnet team. Tyler Reid, man of the match there. He had a good assist in that game. The other decent assist came from Billy Waters, and goals from Matthew Willock and Geraldo Martin for us. So Tyler Reid, 4 tackles won, 9 interceptions in that game, 4 headers won, the assist, and an average rating of 8.6, so a good outing for him. So as you can see, the status quo at the top really. The team to miss out today was Oxford United. That was a 2-1 win for Wrexham over them, so that's a disappointing result for Oxford. So no change at the top. We're still 2 points clear of Southend, plus 25 goal difference. We have conceded 20 goals though, but 45 scored so far from 19 games is a really impressive return. So a decent result away today for us, and in the next episode it's going to be another away tie, and that'll be away at Yeovil on Boxing Day. Currently languishing in 21st position, so we should be strong favourites for that one. But between now and then we've got a few difficult ties, you know. The next outing for us is going to be the FA Cup visit of Forest Green, so I'm hoping that we can put a few goals against them, just for a bit of retribution from last season. We've also then got to play away at Luton in the Johnson's Paint Trophy semi-final. That's going to be an incredibly tough fixture, and the remaining games in the league include the visit of Burton and an away trip to Stevenage. So a few difficult ties for us in the next few games, but I'm hoping our form can continue. So we're undefeated in the last 6 weeks or so. Some very good results in those few games as well. So I'm hoping we can continue and we can cement our place at the summit of League 2. So thanks for watching again, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's game. A very impressive away win for us, I believe. Do leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed what you've seen, and do subscribe for more Rise of the Moors, where you can follow our efforts in league football. But until the next episode, take care, and I'll see you then. Cheers.